Hey everyone, it's Liam the Deaf Doom Metalhead. How is everyone? So, I've been a really busy boy, as you all know, because I keep talking about it. I've been in the studio, so I thought I'd try and get a video out while I have the free time, because yesterday I was there from 10 in the morning till I got home about 11 o'clock at night, so really long day, but I did quite a fair bit. So I thought I'd try and chuck out like a collection update, because I've got a load of, well, I haven't got a load, but I've got some new things, and I thought I mentioned them, but I haven't. So I thought I'd just show them now, get that out there, and then I haven't got to worry about it for the rest of the week. And then maybe at the end of the week I might be able to have to do another video with Deafening and Dooming all over the world, one of those ones, because they seem to be quite popular. So yeah, I've got a few CDs, a couple of records, all in the Deaf and Doom vein, but some of them are alright, some of them are really good. But yeah, I'll crack on. I'll do records first because they're all fun. So this one I'm quite chuffed to get. This is Sempiternal Dusk. I probably butchered that band name, but you try reading it there, good luck. So this is like really sludgy death metal with lots of doomy elements into it. The album's called Cenotaph of Defectuous Creation. Random name, but I love the artwork. Yeah, just straight up, if you like bands like Tomb Mold, Mortisferum, that kind of vibe, it's pretty much on par with those guys. You know, nothing brand new to the genre. Came out through Dark Descent Records a couple of years ago. But I really enjoy this album. It's really dark and gloomy, with that really sludgy kind of sound to it. So if you're into that kind of death metal where it's all cavernous, low in the mix, sludgy, you know, you'll love this album. I mean, the artwork is superb as well. Kind of sets the tone for what you're going to listen to anyway. So yeah, black vinyl, nothing fancy. But I saw this quite cheap on Amazon, so I jumped on it. And I'm really happy to have it because it's quite expensive, because it's a US band. Some of the vinyls go for like silly money, but this one really happy to get at a good price. And then this one is a random one for me because I've been on a bit of a discovery of different genres of doom. So I used to kind of ignore funeral doom. There's a few funeral doom bands I like, but there's only a few. Some of them are really hard to listen to, and you'll see that in the couple of CDs I show. But this one was recommended to me. It's a split between four bands, and the LP is called Four Burials. Sorry, it came out I think in 2014 or 2012, a while ago, through Parasitic Records. I've never heard of them either. But it is a four-way split between some fairly known bands and some ones I've never heard of before. So each side is one track, so there's four bands, one track each side. Because it's Funeral Doom, they're about 20 minutes long each anyway, so they're essentially mini albums in themselves. But some of the bands is Otesinic, I can't even pronounce that one either. But I've never heard of these guys. They're American, they're alright, but it was a bit too folky and a bit acousticy for me. Loss, which is an American doom band, brilliant. Really like that track, really strong. I'm gonna have to burp, sorry. Oh, pardon me. And then Orthodox, I'm not sure where they're from, but I didn't really dig that track either. It didn't really do anything for me. But my favourite band on here, and they're a really, really good funeral doom band, is Mournful Congregation. They're Australian, they've been around since the early 90s. Their albums are kind of easy to get hold of in some formats, but vinyl was very, very difficult over here in the UK. Especially like the album The June Frost or something like that. It's very expensive. But I'm on the lookout for them because they're brilliant bands. They have a certain kind of sound, Mournful Congregation. It's very octave heavy on the harmonies, if you know what I mean by that. And it, really, really good stuff. Really well written, slow songs that kind of build naturally, and they have brilliant harmonies. As do Lost, they're a very good band as well. So yeah, that was recommended to me, and it was an interesting one because it's not something I'd normally buy, but it's quite rare as well because there's only 500 copies printed. And like I say, it came out in 2012, around that time, so I was quite chuffed to find that in the UK for a very decent price. So that's that one. And then this one I'm really happy to have. They're one of my favourite bands, and this is probably one of my favourite albums, at least top 10 favourite albums of all time. Not a bad track on it. Brilliant, brilliant Death Doom album. And that is Daylight Dies with Dismantling Devotion. If you know my channel and you've followed me, you know I like this band. I've played with this band, spoke to the guys from this band. They're fantastic. They're American Death Doom. Really on par with bands like Catatonia, early Opeth, that kind of sound, but they've got more of a progressive edge in their music. It's really heavy, then it's really melodic. The singing's brilliant on it, the growling's brilliant on it. You know, everything about this band to me is a very high standard, and this album is fantastic. My favourite tracks for me are probably the title track, which is an instrumental, which is fantastic. If you're a guitar player and you listen to that, the melodies are spot on. Like, it's not boring at all. It takes you on a journey. You just close your eyes, enjoy the music. And then Solitary and Refinement, I think, is the other one. Brilliant harmonies on that one again. I've got the latest one up there, which is a blue one. This one came out on red vinyl, I think. If I can get it out. Came out through Candlelight a fair few years ago now. There it is on red, to kind of fit with the album cover. But yeah, I won't even try and put that back on camera because that's just going to turn into a fight. But yeah, please check that band out and that album especially, because it is fantastic. Really, really strong album. And if you're a fan of Death Doom, that kind of melodic, kind of doomy music, really, really good. This one, I jumped on the hype train. I was aware of the band and I was aware of the previous album, but, you know, to me it was just, you know, ordinary death metal. But so many people were talking about this album at the moment, and when I shared it on Instagram, it got over 100 likes pretty quickly, so it's obviously very popular. So I thought, I saw it again on Amazon for a really cheap price so before it came out, and I jumped on it, but then it took like 4 weeks to get here, so I don't know where it came from. I think Germany. And that is Necrot's latest album, Mortal, that's right. This came out through Tank Crimes this year, a couple of months ago, if that. And I've listened to it, and yeah, I can understand the hype. It's very, very good death metal. So if you like that old school vibe, really crunchy guitar tones, like the early 90s sound, cavernous kind of vocals with a lot of reverb. What makes this album really strong though and sets it apart from, you know, pretty much all the other death metal bands coming out at the moment is the solos. There's some amazing solos on it. They're really well written. They're not just shreddy ones like I would do. They mean something, they go somewhere, they have like a story to them as they progress. And yeah, you know, for an album that on paper to me didn't really stand out at all, but just because everyone was talking about it, I thought, I'll check it out, and I had a listen and I really enjoyed it. So I thought, oh, I've got to have it. The artwork's really cool. And if you look there, it kind of goes between both sides, which is really nice. So yeah, it is a coloured vinyl, I think, if I remember rightly. Yes. Can't remember what colour it is though. Oh yeah, it's like a really dark red. So nothing fancy. There's quite a few variants of this one I've seen on Instagram, and loads of people have got this album. But yeah, definitely check it out if you're into the kind of death metal and you want something new this year to show off. Again, another one I'm trying to put that back in. So yeah, please check that one out. That is really, really good. And you won't be disappointed, especially with the solos. If you like solos like me, really, really good stuff. So that's all the records. CD wise, I've got some really random ones and some ones I've wanted for quite a long time. I'll start off with, I had a little bit of an eBay bid on this dude that was selling like Funeral Doom albums really, really cheap here in the UK. And I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind them, because, you know, add to my collection, you know, the Death Doom metalhead, I have to have kind of a variety of different Doom bands. One of them was this split by Bosque and Under the Capricorn Sky. Never heard of both of them. Bosque is a Portuguese funeral doom band. I kind of knew who they were, but the other one, Under the Capricorn Sky, I've never heard of them. I think that's them, or that's the name of the album. Hang on, let's have a look, because I've got no idea. I can't even read the bloody band logos, it's that bad. Or maybe Senthil, maybe? I don't bloody know. I mean, look at that. Can you read that? I can't read that. What, the next one's even worse. That's the band logo there, without the glare. Can't read that at all. Not helpful. But I listened to this, and I'll be honest with you, it sounds crap. It's that kind of funeral doom where they just kind of played one chord over and over again for like 20 minutes. And the vocals are hilarious. I don't know if you'll see that with the glare on my speakers. But it's just someone like screaming, you know, like when a child has a tantrum in a supermarket and they throw themselves on the floor and they flail around. It just sounds like that to me. And I end up giggling when I listen to it, because it just seems silly. Oh, it's Senthil, sorry. The band is called Senthil. So it's Bosque and Senthil. I'll put descriptions like I always do, because I butcher band names. But yeah, I paid like 99p for this, so I'm not really that fussed. And if someone really, really likes Funeral Doom and likes these kind of bands, I'll happily send it their way, because yeah, it wasn't impressive at all. I had to skip 2 of the tracks because it just sounded like shit. It was just someone screaming and kind of sounded like they were playing a bongo at one point, so fuck knows what they thought about that. But anyway, that was the first one. This one I actually really enjoyed. This is a funeral doom band from Russia, and that is Ortumina. Oh, I can't pronounce that. I'll write it down again. But this came out in Solitude Productions a while ago in 2009. Big fan of Solitude Productions. I'm even signed to them at the moment on the current album with the band. So, you know, normally when they put out a release, I take notice. And I think this band has also put out a new album this year, which I've listened to a few tracks and I really enjoy. So when I saw this guy selling it for really cheap with that other album, I jumped on it. Interesting album. Again, it's just funeral doom with the keys, but this one's got a bit more melody to it, a bit more, it's musically more interesting. I think it's just two guys with very Russian names, as you can see there. And weirdly enough, I've never seen this before. It comes on a gold disc with the name of the band on it and printed on it. You can see my beers in the background. So yeah, it's good. It's decent stuff. I really enjoyed it. And their new one's very good as well. I listened to that on Spotify a few times. And it's Solitude Productions, so it's normally pretty decent. So yeah, definitely check these guys out. They're a very interesting band. And then the last one from that set, which I got, they're paid for all the same price, all 99p each, so it was a pretty good deal. This is another Solitude Productions one that came out in 2010. And this one's a Texas-based funeral doom band. I think it's a one-man project, which they normally always are, called The Howling Void. I don't know how you get that without the glare on. CDs suck. This one's alright, bit drony for me. Again, it came out on a gold disc, so I guess at that time period they were putting them on gold discs for some reason. I don't know why. Our band one isn't on a gold disc, I know that much. But yeah, it's alright. It's not as good as the Russian one, but yeah, pretty decent stuff. It's a lot better than the very first one I showed, because that was just shit. And then added to my collection, which completed the main discography of the Solothus back catalogue. So this is a Finnish Death Doom band, and the album is called Summoned from the Void. I showed this in my Around the World video when I'm doing Death and Doom. So these guys are from Finland, brilliant Death Doom band, really, really good high standard. Their albums don't sound too different, if I'm honest. So musically, you kind of know what you're going to get with each album. Tone-wise, vocal style, melodies, you know. If you're not a fan, it'd be very hard to probably tell the difference between each album. This one came out through Memento Mori Records a couple of years ago. I can't remember what the date is. But yeah, solid stuff. I really enjoy it. You know, I was happy to get this quite cheap. Sweden of all places. Even though it's a Spanish record label. So, who knows. But yeah, this was brand new as well, sealed. So I was really happy to get this. So yeah, there's that one. And then this one is one, again, an eBay seller in the UK was selling. And they're very hard to get hold of because they normally have to buy them straight from Russia. Straight from Solitude Productions. So this is another one of theirs. This one came out in 2011, and that is the Norwegian funeral doom band Fuenral. Death Doom, you know, they kind of mix it up a bit. Really, really great band. I spoke about these guys a few times on my channel. I've got a couple of their albums. This one is probably the second from last of the latest ones. So I got this quite cheap in the UK. So I was very happy to get that. Brilliant, brilliant band. I haven't really given this too much of a spin yet, but I know the songs like God and stuff like that are very heavy. Very death and doom. So yeah, vocal style's not for everyone for this band. It's very drony, and it has a weird effect on it to kind of give it like a double up effect. But I really enjoy them. And the guitar tones on their albums are fantastic. Really heavy stuff. Nice little digipack. And there's only 999 copies of this apparently. So it's limited edition. So there you go. So yeah, that's Funeral with To Mourn is a Virtue. It's definitely worth checking them out. And then the last one is from the record label Aesthetic Death, which I frequent a lot. Stuart there's a great guy, and he normally chucks in CDs when I buy records from him, or CDs or whatever. So there's always something extra. And well, the first package he sent me a good couple of months ago, he sent me almost like a test CD of it. It was an official CD, but it didn't come with a case. So he's resent the same band. I'm really happy to have this, and that's Reido, or Reido, I don't know how you pronounce it. With Anātman, no idea. Again, I'll write it down at the bottom. But this is really good. They're from Belarus, which is interesting. And that's the thing. That's the only band I got from that area. Funeral Doom mixed with Death Doom, you know, it's a bit of between. It's got atmospheric stuff in there, drawn out parts, some really heavy, crunchy guitars, really good growly vocals. Nice little digipack. Again, so yeah, really good band. Never heard of them before as well. Another one new to me, through Stuart's label. And really good stuff. Really impressed with these guys. Again, didn't pay anything for it, so it was a really nice gift. So thank you, Stuart, if you probably don't watch these videos anyway. But yeah, brilliant album. Really impressed with it. And, you know, as a freebie, it's even better. So yeah, go check those guys out. So yeah, that's my little mini collection update. Not much going on. There's a few other things in the background, but, you know, it's not worth mentioning really. You know, people have heard of Morbid Angel and Shown to Death, all that kind of stuff. So there's no point in me showing them really, but they're back there, and I might put them in another video when I have a bit more to show off. So yeah, that was just a mini update from me. Hope you guys are all well. Thank you for watching this video if you are here to the end. Please subscribe if you haven't already. There's loads of cool content going on at the moment. I've got loads of ideas in my head, and thank you to everyone who's you know, checking out my videos, talking about my channel. I really do appreciate it. Daniel at the Vinyl Hazard just did my 10 metal questions, which I really appreciate. I'll put a link to his channel below because he's a super cool dude and he should have way more subs than me. He's way more interesting and he's been doing it a lot longer than me and he's better at it as well. So yeah, in the meantime, hope you all take care and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.